y'all, it's Alicia, and welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. And it is Sunday, y'all, and you all know it's my favorite day of the week, for sure, my favorite day. I had a much better evening last night. I want to say a big thanks to my mom. I'll tell you, nothing saves your soul like a long chat with your mom and a good Hallmark movie. I had the best night last night. So I told you, I put my money where my mouth is, and I decided that's it. That's it. I don't care about the mess that needs to be put away. I don't care about anything. The kitchen is closed, and I went and I just crafted, y'all, quietly. I didn't take my cell phone out of the PPE bin. We have bins by the front door where everything needs to be disinfected. Nope, left the cell phone there, and I just watched a Hallmark movie after watching first I watched all your videos. Then I watched a Hallmark movie. Then I talked to my mom, and I crafted the whole night. And I'll tell you, it made a big difference. I felt so much better. Now, my mom is definitely, I very seldom reach out to my mom and say, can I vent? It's just not how we operate. So she knows it has to be something that's going on in order for me to be like, okay, mom, can I vent? It's just been one of those rougher weeks, as I shared with y'all. What I didn't share with you is that I'm also having two major physical challenges. The first is, and I'm going to share this because I happen to know someone else in our craft community is also going through some thyroid issues. So I'm going to share this because I think it's good for everyone to know. I normally live with something called hypothyroidism or autoimmune thyroiditis, which means I have something called Hashimoto's. I know they have 3 names for it. Basically what it means is I typically have an underactive thyroid, and I take medicine for it, and it's very well controlled. Somehow during COVID, I also developed hyperthyroidism called Graves' disease, and it's new, y'all. I only got it during COVID. Now, we don't know if it's because I went off my medicine, my cytotoxins. We don't know if it just would have happened anyway, but now we have a problem because usually, y'all, you're one or you're the other. There's very few people that are both hypo and hyper. So my doctors didn't really know what to do. So I'm on medicine for being hypo, and if I'm in a hyper flare and my Graves' disease is very active, then I have, with the medicine, makes it super active, and I end up in a Graves' disease flare-up. And that feels like you're on 126 cups of coffee. It's like hard to explain. It almost makes you feel like a little bit manic. It's like very, very intense. And then you suddenly crash and burn, and you have no energy, and you end up sleeping for like 2 hours. If they take me off the thyroid medicine, when I'm hypo, then I'm sluggish, I have no energy, and that can cause damage. So it's a new problem. And clearly I need to be working with an endocrine to solve it. But we've been trying to figure out how to juggle it until I have that appointment. And this week I just kept having Graves' disease flare-ups. And that also was challenging. Now, I also happen to do a not so smart thing. And I'm going to own the timing on that because it was nobody else's agenda but mine. But the other night on the live, you guys, we were all chatting. Those of us living with chronic health issues, whether it's autoimmune or you just live with something else that's chronic, a lot of us who are chronically sick don't like being on pain medicine. And in fact, many people talked on the live about the fact that they just stopped taking theirs. Last summer, I did the same thing. I stopped all pain medicine completely. And my doctors freaked out and made me go back on one because they were like, you can't do that. And the reason is really simple. We all shared our reasons for it, and they're pretty much the same. You know, there is no pain-free with autoimmune. There just isn't. There is painless, but not pain-free. And so it's hard for us because the medicine, the risks of the medicine often are worse than actually what you're living with. And I was grateful because we had a couple of nurses on the live, and they understood what we meant by that. And it was nice that someone actually validated what we were saying. So thank you, Paula, and to the others of you like Marcy who understand what we're saying. Because sometimes, you know, when we say this in our medical appointments, y'all, they look at us like we're bonkers. Or as my doctors say, you know, Alicia, you're just pain medicine resistant. Well, I'm not. It's just I don't want to take anything that makes me loopy or makes me unable to teach or to think straight. And so I'm always looking for, there's got to be a better way. And I do a lot of research, y'all, about what alternatives are out there. So for instance, there's a medicine out there called Cymbalta. And Cymbalta used to be used to treat low-level depression, I think, and mild anxiety, but I'm not sure. But for sure, mild depression. But in recent studies for people with scleroderma, it's proven to be helpful with pain management, and it's a non-narcotic. So I'm a big fan of this, and I say, well, why wouldn't you try it? The side effects are things like weight gain, and there's some other side effects, but I can use a few extra pounds. So that doesn't worry me. And even if I couldn't use the few extra pounds, that's still better than the alternatives. So I've kind of been pushing, why don't we give this a shot? Now, there's always a risk, y'all. Any mind-altering drug, I don't live with depression, so taking a medicine for depression can have some side effects. There's no question. But we would notice them. My husband's home. If I was acting all weird, they put me on gabapentin once, y'all. And I drooled. Now, most people need weeks to adjust to gabapentin. It's hard to explain what it is, but it helps with nerve damage and nerve pain. Many of us in our community take it successfully. I happen to have a wackadoodle reaction to it. But my husband was home and was able to explain to the doctors what the reaction was. So as long as you got someone there, you're safe. Well, y'all, I've been pushing to make a real change with my pain regimen. Over the years, y'all, I have reduced myself to very little pain medicine on my own. And now I was looking to work with a pain management doctor who would maybe reduce it almost down to pretty much so it's nothing, and maybe add in some other things like Cymbalta and some other protocols that would be maybe more effective, right? And would be less bad for my body. Well, my rheumatologist was like, I don't think this is the right time to be doing that. And the reason he felt that way is because I, throughout COVID, didn't get a lot of medical care. And I developed things like Graves' disease. We know my lungs got all funky in Brooklyn. He feels like physically this is the wrong time. But stubborn girl decided, oh, I think it's fine. So I went and I started working with a new pain doctor who supported my decision. Except, y'all, he didn't really ask, is this a good time to be doing this? And I didn't think it through. So, y'all, for the last 10 days, I have basically almost gone off my pain medicine. And, y'all, I don't even know how to explain this. My friends are going to be like, why didn't you tell us? And now you're going to find it on this video. Basically, this weekend, my right hand stopped working properly. And that's just because we took me off the medicine. And so I went to pick up a glass, a simple glass, and I dropped it. And now I can't write with a pen in my hand, and I can't die cut, and I can't use scissors. So there's the cost, right? Because we haven't introduced anything else, I guess what I didn't realize is that the little pain medicine I was on was ensuring, because remember I told you all after the stroke I worked really hard to get my hand strength back. What I didn't realize was the amount of pain that came with it, and now I can't hold anything. So y'all, it's just been a really frustrating few days. So I'm really glad my mom was there to listen to me. But you know what I did? I just took a deep breath, just like during my stroke, y'all, and I die cut with my left hand, even though I was super slow. I still got it done. And while I was watching the Hallmark movie, I was like, well, it doesn't matter how slow you are, as long as you get it done. Miss Sheila, you see how I took that away? It's true. So I die cut. Now, I can't cut. I was born ambidextrous, y'all. I could have been left-handed, but my school was pretty insistent on training me to be right-handed. And I wish I had kept up the practice, y'all, because I can print with my left hand, but I can't cut. So the reason those ephemera pieces I showed you yesterday weren't perfectly cut is because they were cut with my left hand. But that's okay. You know, should I have heeded my rheumatologist's advice? Yes. Was this the right time to do this? No. But it's done. So I'm going to have to live with it now, and it just means I'm going to have to be real patient with myself because I'm crafting with one hand, y'all. Now, I did that for months during the stroke, and I did it, and I can do it again. But this time it was self-induced. Nobody said, Alicia, you have to go make these changes to your pain regimen. You did it yourself. Long term, y'all, I think it's a good thing. Long term, I want healthier solutions for pain management. I know I'm never going to be even remotely pain free. I know any of us living with autoimmune, whether you got fibromyalgia or lupus, or you're like so Nancy and I and you got scleroderma, you know what? You're not going to be pain free. There is no such thing. But I would like to think that there are some alternatives that are healthier for us so that when things become dire, we can use the medicine that we need to use. But when it's not, when we can take a nap or a break instead of taking a pill, we do that. Did I need to rush it? No. And so I'm just sharing this because I know we have a lot of people on this channel who live with chronic issues. And I know all the nurses in my group are going to be like, good point she's making all around. There's nothing wrong with my end goal of wanting to do this in a healthier, maybe more holistic, natural way. But your timing, y'all, when your doctor warns this might not be it, maybe consider why and ask the questions why before you do it. So I'm just sharing that with y'all for full transparency. If we're going to talk honestly about challenges and illness and managing it, then I'm also going to share with you when I mess up. And I think I should have taken care of all the things that weren't looked after during COVID and gotten stronger before I did this. Because maybe then I wouldn't be die cutting with one hand, y'all. That said, I had a great night. I did. I love die cutting, and it was wonderful, and it was worth everything. And thanks, Mom, for listening. I really appreciate it. I'm telling you, y'all, nothing cures like those kind of challenges, like a Hallmark movie and your mom, and a whole lot of making. So today is Sunday, y'all, and I wanted to share with you Anna Stratis' amazing inspiration kit. So I've been thinking a lot about inspiration lately, as you know. We're doing an inspiration swap. I haven't sent the emails that I was hoping to send by yesterday because I've only got one hand and I'm typing real slow. But I am going to get them done today. I am. It's just going to be a day of slow typing. Anna sent this to me about a year ago, and she sent it to me because she knew I didn't have a lot of vintage trim and where I was in Brooklyn. So she put together this sampler of vintage trim for me, and it's flat mail, y'all. And I thought it was one of the most inspiring things I ever got. I loved the way it looked. It made me think like it was so beautiful and aesthetically gorgeous. I don't know. I just knew I would never use it, and I was always going to save it as an example of something super inspiring. And when I'm creating sometimes vintage kits for people that I mail out, I reference this. So I wanted to share it with you because, basically what Anna did was she took 6 of her favorite trims and then one of her favorite doilies and just shared it with me, like one strip. She took a key and made a little dangle charm from here. This was the cutest thing. That is the world's smallest little thimble, and she made a charm out of it using an eye hook and some dangles. She sewed on these 2 buttons and the butterfly button onto this one, and it just made it that extra special. Put it all in and tied it with this jute twine and made it a flat mailer. So I thought I'd share this with you because we have lots of people sending out happy mails and racks and people thinking about inspiration. And I think this is so inspiring. And this is something that we can send as flat mail. It's less expensive and it can be sent internationally. So I wanted to share with you one of the most inspiring things I ever got. Anna Stratis Heart to Hand Creations is she's such a beautiful maker, y'all. She can make anything. But this was so inspiring. And I want Anna to know it still is. Like, I reference this all the time. So I wanted to share it with you on this Sunday because I want you to be inspired. So there it is, y'all. I don't know what you're up to today. Normally, Sunday is a planning day for me, as you know. A planning and an organizing, and then like most of us, we talked on the live, most of us cook a roast on Sundays, and I am still doing that. My husband's going to have to help because I can't lift it, but he's willing to. So that's great. I'm going to spend the day making. That's what I'm going to do. My cell phone's going to remain in the PPE bin, I think, for much of the day. And I'm just going to make today and take the day for myself. I'm going to watch your videos and craft away. I'm wishing for you a healthy and a happy week. I want you to continue to keep Rue Sarah in your prayers for her and for her daughter. It's been great to see Lisa Douglas front and center. It's been really great. It's actually like been really nice getting to know her. Keep Anna in your thoughts and in your prayers, the wonderful person who created this, because she too, she was dealing with illness and COVID and then now fires. Lise Gaines is home, y'all, so we got lots of reasons to be thankful. And we sure have a lot to thank Miss Sheila for her wise words of wisdom. And again, I'm going to stress, those of us that make every day make because it gives us joy and it helps us work through. I mean, crafting is our therapy, I think, in a lot of ways. Leticia always says that, but I think it's true. And Miss Sheila's words were not lost on me this week. Making every day is a small gift to ourselves, even if it's for half an hour, an hour. And I'm sure not going to let another week go by where I'm not making every day. So I'm wishing for you a happy, a healthy, and a crafty week, y'all. I'll be back on later today with some happy mail. But until then, happy Sunday, y'all. Happy Sunday.